One of the things that I think about nearly daily is the fact that I wish I took more risks in my younger 20s, late teenage years, because failing in that area of your life is much less impactful than failing later. And the regret of not taking risks later in life is much heavier than the feeling of failure in those years. I took a lot of the safe paths in my life growing up, and I don't necessarily want to say I regret it because I did it for specific reasons, but it's something that weighs on me. I do wish I took more risks as a younger adult, and looking back on my life now, I think I'm starting to understand why I took the safer paths, and I think it's because my childhood was really hectic and I never had stability as a child, and that was something that I always have craved growing up. And so I think that's a lot of the reason that I've taken the safe path in life. The risks that I want to take now are much more detrimental to my life as a 30-year-old, because you grow a life, you grow relationships, you have a home, you maybe have children. It becomes next to impossible, not impossible, but it becomes next to impossible to take big risks as you get older. And failing in those younger years, it just doesn't matter. You know, I mean, it does, and it feels like the end of the world in that moment, but it doesn't matter nearly as much as it would later in your life. And what do I mean by, the safe path in my context? Mostly what I mean by that is with my career. I've only ever had 2 full-time jobs since I graduated high school. I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings in high school. Right after I graduated, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, kind of working just a silly job that I had worked my senior year of high school. And a brand new discount tire store had gotten built right next to that Buffalo Wild Wings. Every day, the discount tire guys kept coming in for lunch, and I kept helping them. And they seemed to take a liking to me and asked me if I wanted a job. And I said, sure, why not? It's got to be more fun than working at Buffalo Wild Wings, right? So I took that job, and I excelled in it really well. And that job was really hard. It taught me a lot of really strong life lessons that really shaped me into who I am today. And I wouldn't give back those years for anything, but it was really taxing my body and my mental health. That was some of the hardest work that I think I'll ever see in my life. But I stayed for a long time simply because of the job security and the comfort that I had, right? It took me all that time to finally consider another job, and that's the job I have today, or at least with the company I'm with today. And it's been the same thing. If another job opportunity arises, it's gotta be like a slam dunk home run and have the job security that I need for me to even remotely consider it. And so that's what I mean by I've been, sort of playing it safe. I've been very ambitious. I have definitely taken risks, right, to get where I am today. And, I think I've done a lot of things right. And so, I don't necessarily regret the decisions I've made, but all this to say, before you get into your, nestle into your career and your life and your family, whatever the case is, take bigger risks before all that happens. And you will thank yourself later. Even if you fail, you will later in life at least have the comfort of knowing you tried your best and you took those risks, even if they didn't work out. Because the weight of knowing you didn't try and take the risks you wanted to when you were younger, as you get older, they can weigh on you very heavily. And so all that to say, take more risks as a younger adult and thank me later. Anyways, guys, that was the video for today. I'm still very new at this, so bear with me if none of that made any sense, but I had to stop on the way home and show you guys the sunset. Absolutely incredible. I live in Arizona, for those who don't know, and so we don't get storms very often. We really don't get monsoons at all anymore, and so we got one yesterday and it's been incredible along with the sunsets. But anyways, hope you guys stick around for more. I'll catch you on the next one.